Welcome to the Long Road Podcast with your host Parker and Logan. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome back, fellow travelers. As always, your host Parker here with my co-host, my partner in crime, the only thing the Blair Witch is afraid of, the only man in existence who understands how the modern automatic transmission works, my man, Logan Rickett.
Hello. Welcome back.
All right, guys. First of all, I'm going to start. Sorry about the delay this week. If you guys know me at all, I have it was a solid laptop 6 years ago. It's okay now.
Yeah.
But it's really janky and it has problems from time to time. So Sunday was not happening when we went to film. She was not working with me at all, so we had to postpone. Sorry about that. I hope it doesn't throw off the week. I know.
Monday we had internet issues.
Yeah.
So technology is not on our side this week.
No, which is fine. Sometimes I like ditching the technology and getting out and doing things. But more on that later, right? So I guess first thing this week, man, what about all of these the Hollywood remake movies? There's quite a few of them coming out. We've got the Ocean's 8, which is a spinoff of Ocean's 11. Red Dawn got a reboot, which was not good.
I didn't mind it.
It
was no Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's like redoing the
They
Mighty
redid-
Ducks and not having Emilio Estevez in there. Like, at least throw him a cameo.
It's like Footloose when no Kevin Bacon cameo in the reboot.
Yeah, at least
But-
have him something.
They had Miles Taylor, which isn't too bad. I like him. He's funny.
Yeah. He's pretty good. I liked him in how was it? Whiplash.
Oh, I need to see War Dogs. That's
Yes.
good.
Yes, absolutely. Can we come back to that in a second? I want to
Loop around
on this. Okay. So, yeah, and I don't, man, I'm not one of those people that's going to sit here and tell you that I didn't like Ghostbusters because of the all-women cast. I didn't mind that at all. I hate the fact that they didn't try to somehow tie it in. Like, they could have done a completely original story and just have it been like where they're just taking over the mantle. Huh?
Like a third part instead of a reboot.
Made it Ghostbusters 3. The girls are taking up the mantle because the guys suck at doing it. Like, yeah, why not? I felt like they snubbed the original 2 in the process. And like I said, it's not the all-female cast thing by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's good that I've had this conversation with several people. I think that as a society, we're to that point now where, like, when I was in high school, you couldn't openly be a nerd without getting, picked on.
Right.
Like, I was at the end of that era.
Right.
But, like, now, you can let your nerd flag fly and be like, yeah, I like Ghostbusters. That's great. And you know what? If we can do, like, some positive female protagonists, especially for the younger girls who are still might not feel comfortable with being into that sort of thing.
Right.
Man, by all means. I felt like that they snubbed the original. I felt like I don't know.
I didn't watch it. It got too many bad reviews, and I didn't want to go sit through it and ruin my personal memories of watching Ghostbusters.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't bad. I just wish that it could have been done a little better.
Yeah.
I hate that they tried to make it. I hate that they tried to set it in like this alternate universe that didn't have anything to do with the original 2.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you've got
Bill
Murray making a cameo appearance, and I'm like, man, I don't.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but it didn't work out for him the way they probably
Or
should have.
at least somehow touch on like the cross-dimensional thing, like have Bill Murray like touch a ghost or some sort of artifact, and all of a sudden he like sees him from the original Ghostbusters universe. Like, that would have been a cool tie-in. Like, I'm okay with them extending storylines if they're good storylines, but just like cutting what's there. And I understand if it's a terrible storyline. Case in point, Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
After Spider-Man 3, nobody wanted to see Tobey Maguire pretend to be Peter Parker no more.
No.
We were actually tired of it after the first one, and we put up with it because we liked Spider-Man.
Right.
I'm glad that they rebooted it, but then they're like, hey, you know what worked great last time? Let's put 12 villains in a movie.
Yeah, no, that did not work out.
And so now, what do we got? Rebooting it again. Like,
Yep.
maybe we shouldn't be looking to reboot every movie.
Just because it did bad. Just
Well, and not even that. I think that if you're going to make a movie, or a series, whatever, like, they just seem to sit there, and it was almost like, I felt like with particularly The Amazing Spider-Man 2, that they didn't try because they knew that they didn't really have to try.
we was gonna watch it either way.
Yeah, we're going to watch it, and if it's terrible, we'll just reboot it. Like, no. Like,
That's what's wrong with the DC movies and versus the Marvel movies. DC keeps rebooting stuff and trying.
Yeah, but Spider-Man is Marvel, man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but it's made by Sony.
Yeah, Sony. I will say though, I think Sony did a really good job, and I've said this. Days of Future Past. It was an all right movie. I enjoyed it.
That was a good movie.
I thought it was a very clever way of rebooting the universe because,
and
after
bridging the
that
gap
movie,
between the two.
yeah, because after that movie was when Marvel was stepping in and say, look, we're going to have this creative control over this, this particular asset. So what we're going to need you to do is somehow figure out a way in this movie to let us go in there and fix it. And they're like, okay, we'll do Days of Future Past. And when Logan, who didn't even go back in time in the comic books, it was Shadowcat, beside the point. When Logan comes back, the future will be changed because of his time in the past. And so now what we'll do is we can start fresh. Mm-hmm. And that was a brilliant way of doing it. It didn't...
And it worked.
It did. And the best part about that, I think, was... And I didn't see Apocalypse. I really wanted to, and I didn't get the opportunity, so you can
I didn't get to watch it, but...
So I can't say, as to how they handled it. But in doing it that way, you don't really have to retell everybody's background story. All you have to do is kind of explain where the changes are. Mm-hmm. Right. So, there's that. But yeah, I don't know about this reboot thing, man. And like I said, I'm all about the, and they're doing it with females. Like Ocean's 8 is an all-female cast of Ocean's 11.
Yeah. I'm as long as it takes, I don't know. And Julia Roberts is not in it. I didn't see her on the cast list. So
I thought she was in it.
I can look it up real quick, but I don't remember. Quick Google search for that one.
Google it. For those of you who don't know, Logan is the producer of the show, as well as being my co-host. In his words, I'm the face and he's the muscle. So, like I said, his words, I think my face kind of looks like roadkill that's been left out a little too long, but hey, I'll take the compliment.
She is not on the cast list. Anne Hathaway, Sandra Bullock, Helena Carter, Kate Blanchett, Rihanna, and
Blanchett.
Yeah, Blanchett. Yep. Mindy Kaling.
Yeah, see, I think it would have been cool. And I don't know the story with that one, but instead of going ahead and just doing a complete reboot, just have where Danny Ocean and
get some girls together.
No, not even that. Like him and then Brad. So we got the Brad Pitt's character. I forget what his name was.
I don't remember any of their names.
And George Clooney's character. We've hit all these great busts, and then they get fat and lazy, and then when they try to do something again, they get busted. So then Julia Roberts leads the team of female thieves that have to fucking bail them out. That would have been a great way to have done that.
Yeah, that's
without completely disregarding the existing storyline.
Hopefully they'll do something like that. I mean, they did just announce it recently, so maybe they will. I don't know.
I'm hoping. Like I said, man, that would be a great way to have done that one. And then, too, another thing that I can have a problem with is I don't understand why they keep rebooting good movies. I would reboot some shit-ass movies.
Like what?
Man, I don't know. What's a real bad one? Exit Wounds. That was one with Tom Arnold and Steven Seagal. And it was just over the top action. The cops are hiding heroin and clothing, and you're by liquefying it and soaking clothes in it and selling the clothes. I don't know. I just remember it was bad. Oh, there's just a lot of bad movies out there that you could redo.
They reboot. No, the RoboCop reboot.
that one had so much potential.
It did. Like, that movie was made back in the day, and I feel like it could have been made in present time for the graphical purpose.
Yeah, I like that they sort of touched on him dealing with his humanity.
Yeah.
But they made the whole movie about that. And there was no real reason for that struggle to go on because, like, throughout most of the movie, he's still in the lab trying to be like, am I man or am I machine? Like,
who am I?
You've taken exactly 4 steps and you're having an existential crisis. Like, put him on the street.
Dude, you're a robot.
Have his partner get killed in the line of duty and then him struggle with that.
Yeah. Not he can't walk.
And it could be like a total criticism on the idea of people who get so lost in what they are that they forget that they're people too. Like, that movie could have had some extremely deep meanings if they had just played it out right. It's like, oh, I'm Machine Man and I cannot walk and my wife won't love me. Like, no, okay, whatever, dude. Quit being a bitch. You're RoboCop.
You're RoboCop. Go kick some ass.
What else do you want? Do you know how jealous that one rapper guy is? Oh, fuck. What's his name? You got that song, Superman That Hoe?
Oh, Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy was so jealous that you got to be RoboCop.
Yeah.
He raps numerous times on how he wants to be RoboCop. and
White
you
people
are crying about it.
I have a gun in my hand. Why? Dude, just go shoot somebody.
Life is so hard.
Why do I have feelings?
I can't taste cinnamon rolls.
Actually, yeah, I'd probably cry from that too. If I can't taste cinnamon roll. That's
but
fair.
yeah, like they could have done a lot of different things with that one. I felt like that they were going in the right direction and they came really close and said, "Screw it, we're going home."
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
So yeah, I mean, like, there's, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a movie that I would redo.
They're redoing Roadhouse.
Yeah, with Ronda Rousey, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Again,
in all fairness,
Patrick Swayze.
I love Patrick Swayze. Okay, but in all fairness, is Roadhouse one really that good of a movie? I mean, got Patrick
it's
Swayze,
really not that good.
And we've got
it's just him kicking people for like
Sam Elliott, working the dirt, the double deuce, and he's a pacifist surgeon. It's the world's greatest bouncer. Like, what are you kidding me right now? I don't know anybody that's a pacifist that could work as a bouncer. I wouldn't hire a pacifist for my bouncer.
There was some few plot holes, but
I want to find, like, if I was opening a bar, I want to find like a Russian dude covered in tattoos. Nobody's going to give that guy lip. Yep. And that's not me saying that I'm afraid of, like, Russian people. But if he looks like he fits the part of Russian mafia,
I ain't gonna mess with him.
Done. Like, I'll get angry and he shoot me some side-eye. I'm like, all right, man, you got me. I'm out. I'm done. Let me pay my tab. And you keep my hands up so you don't think I'm trying to pull nothing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
I don't know. Also, they should quit making American Pie movies.
Yeah, you guys should really cut that out.
It's time to stop.
It was a cool concept 20 years ago. I will say though, Shannon Elizabeth that plays Nadia was like my first celebrity crush.
That's fair.
I mean, so attractive. If you're listening.
Yeah, on the off chance you're listening.
On the off chance you listen to two losers talk about crap on a small time podcast. We'd like to have you on the show or something. I don't know.
Yeah, hit me up.
I
don't know.
So you were telling me earlier, like, you said you got a shipment that finally came in, and
you
didn't tell me until I got here.
I ordered some Shakespeare coins from Great Britain. Since anniversary of his death was 400 years ago, Great Britain made some coins. They're pretty cool. There's 3 of them. There's one with a jester stick and a hat, which represents comedy. There's the sword and the crown, which represents history, and the rose and skull, which is my favorite coin, represents tragedy. And they're £2 each. They're really cool. I like them.
Wait, like they weigh £2 each, or they're worth £2
They're
each?
£2 worth.
£2 coin.
£2 coin, yeah.
As the British say, £2. £2
Yeah.
a piece. Very nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I just wanted the rose and the skull coin, so I just ordered the whole set.
That's totally a Macbeth.
Yeah.
No, it's not Macbeth. I forget the one. He's got the skull. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew thee well. I know the line, but I can't remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've read Shakespeare.
I like Shakespeare. He had a very interesting way of doing things. What's crazy is when you read, like, not just, like, the story, like, because, you know, man, like, in high school, they'd take the story and they'd, like, boil it down into, like, a novel adaptation. You're like, oh, redid adaptation of this. And you're like, all right, man, it's all right. But, like, you miss some stuff, like...
the way he spells words and
the
words he chooses.
And some of the clever things that he did, and I forget the exact play. And it's... it's like a witch or something, and it's like she like curses the king for 7 generations or 10 generations or something like that, and they have people dress up like the past 8 kings, and the 7th one is holding a mirror in front of his face, or like the last one's holding a mirror in front of his face, because and once again I forget the name of the patron, the king that was the patron of the Shakespeare stuff at that time. But he was like the 10th in line and stuff, like whatever. So like they had a guy dressed as a king with a mirror in his face, so that when the king looked at it, he would see his own reflection.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really it's clever, and like you don't see that in like the novel adaptations or short story adaptations of these things. So
yeah,
I'm a bit of a theater nerd. I never got into theater, but I really enjoyed it. Like I don't know, I never acted. I was in show choir.
I was in band.
Musicals. I love musicals. 525,600 minutes. That was my favorite. We always sang that at Christmas, and all the parents thought that was so sweet. None of them knew it was from Rent, which is about a bunch of people dying of AIDS.
Yeah.
It's essentially the modern retelling of La Boheme, but
it's a catchy tune.
It really is.
Yeah.
I enjoyed singing it, and then anything in Latin, man. You sing in Latin, it's always really, really pretty. So, off-roading, going out. I said something about that earlier. No, what was one of the things I said we'd come back to?
War dogs.
War dogs. Yes. Okay, that's the one I was thinking of. So, Rolling Stone magazine right now, on their website, they have a article about the actual guys that movie is based on.
Mm-hmm.
And that story is absolutely fucking nuts. Like,
really?
the stuff that was going on, and like, so essentially, I don't know which of this is in the movie. So the guy that I'm guessing is going to be Jonas Hill character, because they said that he was in, whatever, body size is bigger, whatever. His uncle was like a arms dealer or whatever in California, and he was out there working for him, and there was arguments, and he left, and he comes back to the East Coast. He starts a company. He goes on gets in the government database where he can bid on jobs. Excuse me. Been hitting that Valentina's hot sauce. So he starts bidding on the where the government like bids out jobs or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and ends up getting a pretty solid rating, and they landed a $300 million contract and it just said for like non-standard ammunition. And what it was is when they decided they were going to, like, towards the end of the Bush administration, the idea is that if Obama got in office, because he'd said that he was going to pull people out of Afghanistan, they're like, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be this big cluster. Like, what are we going to do? So their idea was to better arm the local militias. And so they actually got the contract to deliver the ammunition and stuff to the local militias. It was a $300 million contract.
Wow.
It ends up going belly up because of some things, but yeah, no, it was a really, really crazy story. And some of the people that they worked with and dealt with were absolutely saying it. So essentially what it is that the United States government, for jobs like this, they go through private contractors so that there's no paper trail. But they expect you to have your paper trail's got to be clean too. So like one of the things they talked about is the United States will, like, there's an embargo against buying weapons from Russia and China as well. So what they did is they filtered them through Eastern Bloc countries, and then through dummy corporations owned by the actors that they were dealing with in that area, sold to their company, who then sold to Uncle Sam. Now, yes, there's a markup all along the way, but we're talking about getting rid of like some serious cash. Like Albania apparently has just massive stockpiles of Soviet era weapons and ammunition and stuff, because the leader at that time was incredibly paranoid. So yeah, it was an interesting read. And they like talk about like how everything goes. And one of the big guys that they work with, I forget his name. It looks like he's going to be the guy that's played by Bradley Cooper in the movie. He is like a serious war criminal. Like, he is wanted for a lot of things. And they said that like after this whole thing went belly up, that he just disappeared.
Okay.
That no one has seen him in like 4 years. Because this is enough to, I think, like really just execute. But yeah, no, like he's a mercenary. He is a black market arms dealer, like a lot of things. And he ends up working with them. They said in the article, and I don't know how much of it is them romanticizing the situation or whatever, but they said that the reason he started working with them was because he was about their age when he got started.
Oh.
So he saw himself in them and saw the ambition that he had in them, and knew that he could use that to both nurture essentially his replacement in that sphere, while also making a killing towards his end game in that line of work.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Actually, like I wanted to see the movie anyway. Like I said, I mean, I like Miles Teller. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
I like Jonah Hill. It's a cool premise.
Yep.
But after reading the article about what really happened, oh man, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, the trailer was just insane. I was like, whoa. So it's definitely. Wait, is it out on yet? Did it come out?
I don't know. I don't
remember.
I only get a chance to watch movies on the weekends. I was busy this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't even look.
So, yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Adventuring. Yes, adventuring.
Yes, back to adventuring.
Adventuring.
The whole point of this podcast.
Woohoo! Woo! So I know we've talked about projects that we want to get started. And there's a couple that we've got lined up. We are getting logistics and things like that. The first one we want to talk about is overlanding. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Essentially, it is camping and mudding.
Yep, in one.
You build your overlanding rig. I've also heard my buddy Spanky called it dirt bagging too.
Dirt bagging?
That's another word for it, apparently.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've heard of that one.
He was a Parks and Rec major, so I just assumed it might be one of those inside terms.
Yeah.
That they've got.
Right.
So yeah, like you take like a SUV of some sort, you build up your rig, and you just take it out and you run it, and you go over some off highway vehicles, trails, and
yep.
Yeah, you just do whatever.
And then you get to a spot and pitch your tent.
And get stuff set up. Yeah.
Do it again the next day.
It's really interesting. If you guys are on Reddit, www.reddit.com/r/overlanding.
Yep.
I stumbled on it one day, and it's one of those things that's pretty prevalent, but you just don't know that it's there.
It's a pretty small community, but a pretty powerful community at that.
It's everywhere is the thing too.
Like here in Knoxville, I see people all the time with overlanding rigs going up and down the interstate to.
Well, you see like the company like Bold Overland stuff,
yeah,
right?
There's a team in somewhere nearby.
Yeah, so I mean, like, and they're there, and when I remember the first time Logan sent me a picture, and I was like, I've seen that thing around, and I just had no idea what it was. And now that I know, it's like, man, these guys fly under the radar.
Yeah.
But we'd like to actually build an overlanding rig. I mean, it's,
one day. A lot of dinero.
Yeah, I got a plan for one that's going to be. It's going to be insane.
It's a monster.
Look, it is a monster, and
No spoilers.
Yeah. If I could give a hint, it would be for those of you who watch Dragon Ball Z, think Fusion Ha. I'll leave it at that.
I don't even know what that means, but we'll go with it. I do. I know what the product is, but that's cool. That's cool.
Well, that's from the fusion dance to make Go Tanks. Like Fusion Ha, and then they fuse together.
Nerd.
And sometimes if they does fist instead of a finger, they're like fat Go Tanks. It's a thing.
Okay. I will take your word on it. I don't know.
Dude, I love Dragon Ball Z. I ain't even joking. I've been seeing like spoilers from Dragon Ball Super, and I just cannot wait for that one to come out. So excited. But yeah, so I've got the thing that I want to build. Logan's got a Forerunner kind of designed out that he wants to build.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'd like to kind of get into that if at all possible.
Hopefully one day. More of a hobby. It's not gonna make us any money, but it's just a hobby.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things we would like to do if we ever got this built is do like maybe like a country ride road trip or something and take you guys along with us.
Yeah, come along for a journey.
But yeah, so like I say, I mean, the two popular ones, you know, either some sort of Jeep or a Toyota 4Runner.
Yeah.
Really popular. And then when you get there, there's different ways of going about like setting up camp. Some guys like Logan are all about the top tent.
Sleeping on the roof.
It's a special tent setting that goes on your roof rack that goes on your roof rack and you actually camp out up top. I am an internal camper. I want to be able to sleep in my rig. I'm 6'2", so that presents some problems.
Yeah.
But if I get my build done, it'll work. I won't have to worry about that. So
That'd be sick.
You know, we'll see where that goes. But definitely, man, check. If you guys like camping or anything outdoors related, check that out.
Yeah, check it out.
There's some guys that built some incredible rigs.
Yeah, or I mean, if you're on a budget, there's budget rigs too. It's not that hard to get into. You just sleep in your car. So.
Yeah, it's essentially being homeless in the woods.
Fancy homelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really camping. I mean,
it's just camping.
Yeah, just camping's really.
It's not glamping. Not to be confused with that.
No. Like, I mean, really regular camping's like, hey, honey, let's experience what it's like to be homeless for the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up. No. But yeah, and there's a lot of equipment and stuff that you can do, but you don't need all of it. That's the cool part. Is it can be as extravagant or as bare bones as you want it to be.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cool YouTube channels when you watch people work in their cars or take trips in their cars and do all kinds of stuff.
The Pabst Boys. Not necessarily overlanding, but they're really funny. They work on Jeep Cherokees. I have a Jeep Cherokee. That is not the build. Rocky, my Jeep Cherokee, is my daily driver. Yeah. Check those guys out. They're actually pretty funny. And so another thing that we're looking into getting into is rallycross.
Rallycross.
It's like a combination of rally racing and autocross. That one actually might happen sooner rather than later. Mm-hmm. So those of you who don't know, my family is really big into the dirt track racing scene. My grandpa raced, my uncles raced. My dad didn't, but my dad owned a car. Dad didn't have the stomach for it or something. He just was never into it. He liked working on them. He didn't like racing them. He was like, whatever. My brother races. So we'll I'm trying to convince Dad into helping me get in the rallycross game. So that'll be pretty interesting. We're looking at like a BMW 325i or maybe a BMW 3M if we can find one. We want an older one though. We want old from like the 80s and 90s.
We're gonna wreck it.
Yeah, it's not going to look pretty. It doesn't need to be pretty.
Just needs to run.
So if you guys, know anybody that's interested in
joining the team,
joining the race team, or if you've got an old BMW 3M laying around that you just want to get rid of,
we'll gladly take that off your hands.
Yeah.
I have like $100 bill.
I'll tell you what. If you could donate that to us, I will go through the hoops to get us registered as a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and then you can count it as a write-off on your taxes.
Boom.
I'll figure it out. It might not be legal, but who cares?
Whatever.
I got some dummy companies. We can write it too. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Which leads us to the next point. My man Logan's going to explain this one because he's taking the lead on this. Like I said, he is the producer. He's the showrunner. He makes sure everything happens. He's the muscle. Logan, tell him something about T-shirts. I don't fucking know.
Well, hopefully we can start in the process of trying to get a T-shirt company going to fund our adventures, our race cars, our overlanding even. It's not going to be for our income. This is just for y'all's entertainment. We're going to use the profits from the T-shirt company, clothing, whatever. Put all that money into this show. Every single dime of it. So hopefully we can bring you guys quality content.
So you're telling me I can't retire and just do YouTube?
Not yet. We got to work up to that point.
Okay.
Hopefully maybe one day.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff we'd like to do, but yeah,
needs dollars.
We're some poor ass white dudes from rural Appalachia. The fact that we know how to use a computer is a miracle.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys have heard it. It comes out of my voice from time to time, especially late at night when we start recording these. It slips out a little bit. My redneckisms come out.
Y'all and what have you.
The way I say so.
So.
So yeah, Jens wanted to, it's
Yuns.
Yuns.
I've been really trying to watch what I say on the podcast because my accent will come out. I don't even notice it, but
we're not as bad as Trevor.
We need to have Trevor on the show though.
My brother Trevor that races. I like to call him the world's smartest redneck. Mm-hmm. He and that's not even like a joke. Dude's got a degree in engineering. He does calculus like it's no big deal. He can do calculus on the fly. He's really, really smart, but if you heard him talk, you would swear that kid was dumb as rocks. Mm-hmm. Like real thick accent, use a bunch of southern idioms like slicker and greased out shit, things like that.
One. Yeah.
It's really one of my favorite. He's the one that come up with nothing between you but air and opportunity. So, I mean, like, he sounds dumb. He sounds real dumb.
We love you, Trevor.
But he is really fucking smart. I'm almost ashamed that he's way smarter than I am. I'll tell him that to his face.
There you go.
I'll say that to his face in cursive.
I don't even care. You hear that, Mitchell?
Anybody don't get the reference, it's Donnie Baker. Check him out, too.
Go watch Donnie Baker. He's funny as crap.
Yeah, if Donnie Baker had a college degree, that's Trevor Parker.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Oh, yeah. We want to start a new hashtag.
Hashtag of the week.
A hashtag of the week. What we'll do is Logan and I will review said hashtags of the week, and once we kind of get the T-shirt thing up and going and get some things rocking and rolling, we get some pretty good participation. We're going to start. Whoever has the funniest one, we'll get like a free T-shirt or something for the show. But this week is hashtag I need a montage.
Montage. Yeah.
And you just got to start off with like the hashtag I need a montage, and then tell us why you need a montage. Like I need a montage to learn how to draw, to learn how to sew.
Way more clever than that.
Yeah. I need a montage to learn how to do a better podcast because ours sucks. Oh, man.
Okay.
It's funny because it's true.
Oh, yeah.
Nah,
we're getting there. Just one step at a time.
Moving on.
Oh, it's copyrighted. Ah,
There goes all of our AdSense money.
darn it. Oh, well. Well, if you don't have anything else, I believe it's time.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, just remember, there's nothing between you but air and opportunity. Three, two, one. Hello and welcome back, fellow travelers of the long road. As always, it's me, your host, Parker, with... I didn't even think of this for this week. We're going to have to start over.
Yeah. You didn't come up with one.
I didn't come up with one. Damn. I knew I was forgetting something, too.